This is us removing a generator from a school bus facility for Collier County, and they need us to move that diesel tank. It's got about 450 gallons of fuel in it. It pretty much is at the capacity of the Bobcat.
All right, back up a little bit. I don't have much.
And we're not 100% sure we can lift it or not. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to pull this thing back, get it close enough that I can get the chains over the forks. These guys are not used to working around the equipment. I have a lot of experience with it. They're just not used to doing stuff like this. We're primarily doing interior demolition work all the time. So we're removing the fuel tank, which we're going to put a new one in. And we're taking out the interior fuel tank, and then we're taking out the generator, and we're going to load it up and take it with us. We're getting paid for this job to do this, and then we are going to repurpose all this stuff.
He said moving forward.
Can't go any further.
He said he went as far as he could go.
Tell him I gotta move the chain.
Go ahead and overwrap the other chain.
He said overwrap the other chain.
And this is Dawson.
I feel like I'm seeing you for the first time tonight.
One of my crew leaders. He's incredible. He's a great guy. He's a very good worker. And today he's learning something kind of new.
Come here. These guys don't know how to wrap a chain. I'll do it. The chains aren't wrapped right. Like this is the one. You want to just drag this up? Just gonna drag it over, then we can get a good hook.
Now this generator still works and ran all the way through Hurricane Ian, and now they want to upgrade it and get a newer system in here.
All right, lift up, pull back a little bit. Hey, come here, Dawson. Yes, sir. Close to that. I can't see the spout. I can't see the pipe. If you go to the right a little bit, you'll be fine. Good. All right, 1 second. I gotta hold the chain until it gets tight.
So our job today is to get this tank out of here and not spill it. So the problem we're having right here, it's hard to get underneath this tank to get a chain underneath it. And there's also the diesel fuel that's on the outside of the tank, which makes it very oily. Dawson is working with me and we're trying to get it into a good position.
All right, back it up. Oh, it's just pulling it forward. God dang.
My reach is not quite good enough, so what we're doing right now is we are going to scoot it back. I'm basically going to pull the whole tank back so that we can get it more equal to pull it out. Meanwhile, I'm trying not to break that breathing tube or that filler tube off the top, which will make the tank worthless.
All right, come on. Want me to get another one on there?
And again, this is roughly about 8 pounds per gallon. There's got to be 400 gallons in this thing.
I'm trying to lift, I'm just trying to get it. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Once we got this out of here and I brought it back to my shop, it is something that the school system has maintained and it's fresh fuel. So they didn't want it. They had no way of transferring it from the old tank to the new tank because the new tank won't be here yet.
Shadow, cut it from the outside.
Basically what we did is we took it back to my shop and I used it to fuel up my trucks for, I think it was actually like a week or so, 400 gallons of fuel, free fuel.
All right, got it. Push it to the right a little. Good. Up to your right. There you go.
Right now we're just getting everything into position so that when I pull that up, it stays on the forks and on the chains and it doesn't slide to one end or the other. Because if it falls over, it's gonna empty out on the ground and we're gonna have a real problem. So for part of this, once we got it to a certain point, we ended up having a bunch of spectators sitting there wondering whether we were going to turn this diesel fuel tank over or not. We were wondering it ourselves. We don't do this all the time, not this kind of work at least. And it is kind of sketchy because it's kind of a tight situation, but they needed it out. They can't be without it. I'm back in there with the forks. We've got it chained so it can't go forward. We're lifting it up. And again, it's almost at the capacity of my machine, and I'm being very mindful of the fact that it could spin on the chain, so I'm being real tight, real slow, and I'm actually keeping it up against that wall so it can't fall over. And then I'm also working on about a 4 to 6 inch little ledge there. So now we got it picked up. I'm taking it over here. I'm going to set it down. We're going to disconnect it. While they're finishing up something, I'm going to go back and grab this metal piece and crush it up, make it easier to get it on our truck because we only have that trailer and a box truck with us. So, and again, we could have just put it in their dumpster there, but we just don't do that. We didn't pay for the dumpster. It's not our dumpster. No, we're not going to do that. So here they are cutting the bolts off of the generator, getting it so that we can get into it. All right. It's in a little concrete room. It's got ventilation. That is a exhaust system right there so it doesn't create fumes inside the building. The little square tank, that is the primary fuel tank. So here we're using the chains to pull it, but the studs are still sticking up a little bit so we can't get it. It's not doing, we're pulling it right through the noose there. We had a little chain noose going on. Not only do we have to get this out, but we got to work around this big hole that's in the floor.
Hold on.
He said wait.
I'm gonna pull up on this side and they'll go.
He said he's gonna have to pull up.
All right.
Now we're going to drop it back down, and I'm going to get my forks in there. You see those lines? Those are lines for the electric. They're going to rerun all new electric into the building from this new generator they're putting in.
There you go.
Go off? Yeah.
Keep going.
Going.
All right, I'm coming back to you.
Again, we do interior demolition. We tear down buildings and stuff like that. We take on little projects like this here and there. So they paid us $30-something $100 to do this, and we did it for a little bit less than one of our competitors because we're going to repurpose this generator. I have this generator actually on eBay right now for $3,400. It's been on there for about 2 months, so it's due for a price reduction.
Put something underneath it so you can get your forks on and just lift it up.
This is an early Onan system. Onan's a big deal in generators. You see a lot of the RVs and stuff have Onan generators, but this one's old enough. That's actually a John Deere tractor motor, it looks like to me. The tank is oily. There's 400 gallons of fuel in it, and I'm trying to get it up there. It should be no problem at all, but then as I'm coming up right about here, the machine is going to shift its weight, and it gets a little sketchy and scary. So you see how the tank's kind of wobbling a little bit, so I'm going to drop my fork, and I'm going to push this up against that grapple bucket to make sure that it doesn't fall forward. And you know, it's a little sketchy, a little scary, pushing it forward, because I can't put my forks underneath the bucket in the front.
You are touching on my side though.
Are my forks all the way out? Yeah, the truck here.
Oh, you gotta go. There you go.
So we got everybody, all hands on, just making sure this thing doesn't fall over. Then I'm going to go get the generator, and I'm going to pin it on there with the generator. Then we're going to load the machine back up, and off we go. So this is, you know, we got a great group of guys. These guys are incredible. They're good workers.
Yeah, good.
And Austin there in the green shirt's been with me for, oh my gosh, I don't know how long, 6 or 7 years. Austin's been with us for probably about 3 years. And Arturo there, he's not been with us continuously. A lot of these guys, they work for us for a while and then they go somewhere else and then come back and work for us for a while.
You got to pull more slack out of it than that.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is an Onan generator with a motor by John Deere. It's got the John Deere colors. Again, I have it on eBay for $3,400. I had somebody looking at it a couple days ago. I think they wanted to pay like $2,400, and we're not really ready to drop the price that much. You know, we like to get as much as we can. It runs. There's nothing wrong with it. We're going to put this on here, we're going to pin it with the machine, and then we're going to strap everything down and take it back to the shop. So this definitely is pushing the weight limit on this whole setup, but you know, we're only going a couple miles, so it's not that big a deal. And Kenny there, he's super crazy careful.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You
Well, that was easy. We sure showed for them city workers. They're like, yeah, they're gonna go.
So there I am, my big fat butt getting out of the machine.
36, 24, 36. Only if she's 5'3".
It doesn't always go right. Just most of it.
Please leave us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.